Kia ora everyone, Jem here and welcome back to my creative space. Hey, it's a wet afternoon here in New Zealand today, so I thought I would take the opportunity to create a journal cover. And this journal cover is going to be for a specific purpose. I have decided to have a go at the Depehemerember challenge this year, which is run by Barbara from 49 Dragonflies and Louise Heinzel, and I'll tag their video below which tells you all about the challenge. But basically I think there's something like 18 prompts coming for the month of December, and each prompt is to create a piece of ephemera. So I thought I would make myself a journal, and I thought it was high time I tried something I'd not done before. So those of you who've watched my recent napkin stash video will recognise this. This is a beautiful napkin I found, and it's on a scrap of fabric. And I simply used some watered down PVA glue to stick that onto the fabric, and so you can see the fabric here at the edges. So having done that, I thought that this would be really cool to use as the basis for a journal cover. And so I've also pulled out several covers that I've got. Now these have come, we had an elderly auntie pass away recently, and when we helped to clear her house out, we discovered a box of diaries from, oh gosh, well look, this one is 1985, and they weren't sort of journal diaries, they were more appointment diaries. So we've taken all the middles out and I've been left with the covers, and so I've got 3 of these. I've got 2 which are hardback covers. That one's quite nice on its own. This is the little tom tit that we get here in New Zealand. So I've got 2 hard backed ones, and I've got this quite soft one, and so I'm just sniffing that, sorry. I'm trying to figure out what this is made from, and I don't think it's leather. I think it's a kind of a faux leather, but it's more of a soft, so you can see it's got a rounded spine as opposed to these which have got the harder, the square spine. And this one's got an elastic closure, which if I could reuse it, would be useful, and also is sort of the right colour to go with my thing. Anyway, so I'd like to use one of these, and I'd like to cover it with this fabric napkin as the start of a journal cover. Now I'm going to be using, this is A4 size paper folded in half, which gives me A5 size paper, which is approximately about 14.5 by 20 centimetres roughly. So that's the sort of the rough size I want. Now I'm aware this one, so I would have to trim a strip of paper off if I wanted to use this one, whereas these 2, the paper would fit in both of these. Okay, so I think for me that's narrowed it down to a choice between these 2. Do you know, I think I'm going to go with this soft one, just because 1, it's different, 2, I quite like the challenge of seeing if I can reuse this elastic, and 3, I don't know, the soft colour just seems to fit better with using fabric for me. Alright, So first off, I'm going to take the rest of this off. So I've never participated in Depehemerember. That's going to be a challenge in itself, isn't it? I've never participated in this challenge before, so something new for me. And December's often quite a busy time of year for me. Mr. Jem and I run tourist accommodation business, and so it's the start of our summer season, so often we're quite busy. But I'm hoping with just the 18 prompts, I'm going to be able to manage. So but we're going to have a go and see what happens. So you'll be able to come along with me on that journey. I've been watching videos from some of the channels that participated last year, just to get an idea of what I'm letting myself in for. And there's some amazing creative people out there, and I've thoroughly enjoyed watching a lot of those videos from last year. So I'm really looking forward to the challenge of participating this year. And as I say, Barbara and Louisa have done a couple of introductory videos, and for this year, so I'll link those below, and you'll be able to have a look and see, and then you'll know as much as I do. All right, so as you can see, what I've done, I've just taken some more of that cardboard away, and I've freed the piece of elastic which was being used as a closure, which I'm going to reuse for the same purpose. So let's just get rid of these bits. I don't think they're worth recycling for anything. And I just need a sip of tea. Excuse me. Right. So in some ways it's a shame. This is called a Hitiki. And it's a shame to cover him up, but could we make some kind of window? That might be a challenge, mightn't it? One thing at a time, Jem, one thing at a time. Right, I think, yeah, so this is not quite big enough. If you can see here, haven't quite got enough. By the time I've allowed a little bit to tuck over the edge here, haven't quite got enough. So what I'm actually going to do, but I put too much this way, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to cut off a strip from the top here, and I'm going to use my sewing machine and stitch that to this edge. Okay folks, so as you can see, I've cut the top of the napkin off, and I've attached it down the side here, and that's going to be big enough for my cover. Now I think the best way to attach it is with some glue. I'm just going to cut that bit off there, and I'll keep that because you don't know, it might be useful to create something in the journal. All right, so I've got this glue. It's called Tiger Grip, made by Helmar. I don't know, I picked this up in one of our local independent stores. I don't know quite what it is, but it seems to be a little bit stronger than PVA. So, and I've just had to go and use some pliers to get the lid off because it was all stuck. I'm getting to the end of this one, so I'm actually just going to pour some out like that. I've got an old glue brush here and a bit of plastic to protect my work surface, and I'm literally just going to spread that all over, and then I'll stick the fabric and napkin on. Okay, so all I'm doing now is just laying the napkin carefully over, making sure that I have enough just to fold over the edge slightly. I'm going to come that way just a little bit more. I don't want to lose too much of the picture, but equally I want enough of the fabric and napkin to be able to come over the edge easily. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to fold these edges for now, just so that we can turn it over and have a look. I did think I would lose the top of that tulip, never mind. And let's have a look. So obviously those edges are going to be cut off or tucked in. So that's what the basis of the journal is going to look like, and that's folding quite nicely. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that under a big book just to make sure that that adheres really well to that cover. And whilst that is sticking, I'm going to look for a piece of fabric to cover the inside of my journal as well. Now I'm hoping to do a hidden spine here, which is something I've not tried before. So again, that'll be something else new to challenge myself. But as I say, whilst this is drying, I'm going to look for a piece of material to cover the inside, and once it's dry I'm going to make the holes where the elastic comes in and put that on before I forget. So right, I'm going to go and find a big book to stand on top of there and some nice material for the inside, and then we'll be okay, everyone. So as you can see, that's dry and seems to have stuck really well actually, so I think that glue was an okay choice. The other thing I've done, two things, I've trimmed off to round about, it's probably about 1 centimetre all the way around, and I've also got rid of the rest of the cardboard here. So I was struggling to get that off. What's left is just a thin layer of paper, which I don't think is going to affect what I do next. But the cardboard was quite thick and it was bumpy and I wanted to get rid of that. So done that. Right, now I've been hunted through my fabric stash and I've come up with this gorgeous piece of vintage, it's like an upholstery fabric. I don't know whether you can see that. It's got quite a woven texture to it, and I like this bit in the middle with the blue and the white because I want to pick up the blue from here. And as I said earlier, I want to keep the colours quite neutral inside. And I'm not, I debated doing something pink. I'm not a terribly pink girl, I have to say. So I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to try and cut it so that I get this nice floral bit here. So there's two things I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that, and actually what I will do, if I turn that round, hopefully you'll be able to see that still. Let's have a look. Yeah, you can see that. And what I've got is, Sarah's looking for it. Here we go. What I've got is a white charcoal pencil, and I'm just going to use this to draw around. Now let's have a look. I think it might be better. Oh, we'll go that way. Right. Gosh, that's gorgeous, isn't it? You could almost use that on the outside of a journal. Ooh, there's another project to add to the list. Okay. Right, so I'm going to glue that to the inside. But before I do, if you remember, I want to make these little holes. Let me just sit down again. Oh, that's better. I'm going to make these little holes, and I'm literally just going to use my craft knife to poke through. And then I have the original elastic that was on this diary. Like that. Wiggle that to make it a bit bigger. There we go, that's that end in. There's the other one. There. Okay, and those need to be attached back down where they were, and I'm just making sure that this is in flat and is not twisted. There we go. Right, so those bits down. I'm going to use actually, do you know what? I hate this stuff, but I have a little bit of super glue here. I only opened it the other day, so there's probably still a little bit left. And just because I really want these to stick, I'm going to put a little bit of super glue on. As I say, I absolutely detest super glue, partly because I always get my fingers stuck and I hate the feel of it on my fingers. So I'm just going to hold those two bits down carefully. I might use the end of my pencil. There we go. Right. I know, you're laughing. It's overkill, but I've got some packing tape here. You know what? I'm using this because I can't find my small sellotape, but this will do the job. There we go. Right, So I'm going to do exactly the same with the last of my tiger grip glue, and I'm going to check that that's the right way up. Yep. Oh, there's a decision no this way, I think. So I'm going to do exactly the same and glue that down. Now, the other thing I'm also going to do is to cut an extra piece of fabric and back it. That's the second piece. I've got two pieces of this fabric. I'm going to figure out how wide my spine is going to be, and I'm going to cut an extra piece of fabric the width of my spine, and I'm going to stick that onto a piece of card, and in my next video I'll show you what I'm going to do to make the hidden spine. But for now I'm going to glue that down, and I'm going to glue an extra piece onto the card to make the hidden. Okay everyone, so that's now nice and dry, and the inside as well, and I've just trimmed around the inside fabric so that it's exactly the same as the outside cover. So I've got round about a centimetre, I don't know if you can see that, I've got round about a centimetre overhang all the way around. And what I'm going to do in a moment is to take my sewing machine and I'm going to go all the way around there, so I'll show you that in a moment. I've also made, and this is just the same fabric and a little bit of file folder, and that's going to be part of my hidden spine. So when I go around the edge of my journal, I'm also going to go along the top of these bits so that when it is in there, hopefully it all matches up. So I'm going to go do that. I'll come back. Okay everyone, so there we go. You can see I've just gone around the edge here, and that's just off the original journal cover because I wasn't sure that my machine would go through that faux leather. So that's holding the inside and the outside covers together, as well as giving a little bit of a decorative look. Now this is the hidden spine, and that eventually will go in here. And so what I've done is just done the same little zigzag stitch top and bottom to tie it in. So there we go, we've started the journal cover for Depehemerember. My next video will be creating some pages, some signatures to go inside, and then we'll put it all together and have a go at this hidden spine thing. Okay, for now, thank you for watching folks. I hope this has been useful. Another way of doing a journal cover, upcycling, repurposing things that you might already have. So in the next video, as I say, we'll be doing the signatures, so keep a lookout for that. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Ka kite anō.